Hello, I'm Dave.
I'm Alicia.
Welcome to the spoiler zone. So, we're here today to talk about Apostle, which is a Netflix original film that was directed and written by Gareth Evans, who is previously known for his Raid 1 and 2 films. If you haven't seen the movie, we did a spoiler-free review, which you can check out. The link will be in the description. But if you have seen it, and you would like to know all of our thoughts, our very spoilery thoughts, stick around, because we're going to get into it. So, where to begin with Apostle?
Don't even know.
Alright, I'll start it off. So, what I wanted from this movie was cringe-inducing violence. Like, absolute, the kind of stuff that makes you want to turn away from the screen.
Okay.
Like, just... because that is one of the things that I loved about the Raid movies, is that they're action movies, but the violence in them is on another level. It's really... like, he doesn't just stab somebody, he will, like, stab them in the back of their leg and then cut their tendons. He doesn't just, like, knock someone out, he'll push their neck up against glass, and it's just like, yeah, it's great. It's so good. I love it. Both films had these knockdown fights, just absolutely brutal, like really, really intense. And I didn't get that from this. I wanted that from this. I wanted that really, really over-the-top intense. There was maybe, two major moments, I would say, that stood out as, like, that type of violence.
True. And they were both spoiled in the trailer. Mm-hmm. The trailer made it seem like go, 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 violence.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
It was not that. But it wasn't like... I tend to go for more, like, creepy, subtle scares, like, knocks in the dark and stuff. It wasn't that either.
Now, we had the boy getting his head drilled, which shown in the trailer.
Yep. I didn't like it.
But even that moment was not as bad as I was expecting it to be.
Really?
I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but it was relatively tame compared to what I was, like, expecting. I thought it was really... because they really cut away. They, like, show the moment of the drill being put up to his head, but then the angle changes and they cut away. And then they show, like, the aftermath. They show, like, his hollowed out brain. Yeah,
I think if they showed it, that would have put it into, like, trauma territory, and maybe they were trying to, like, avoid that.
That's what I wanted! That's what I wanted! That's what I came for. Like, I wanted, yeah, and then there was, the main character, Thomas. He got his hands crushed by the Torture Man's machine.
Yeah, Silent Hill Torture Man.
Yeah, he was good. Not enough of him.
I want a backstory on him.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't really, like, need it, but I would have, like, wanted something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with what we got. I like the mystery behind it. I like the just... who is this guy? He's a weird, faceless dude who just helps out the evil.
Has an explanation, except for that guy.
Yeah, I like that about him. I like that he was just... it's like, is he just... was he with the goddess? Was he someone who was part of that team? Was he, like, a guy from the original crew that just went completely nuts? Was he, like, brainwashed? You don't know.
Yeah, well, the thing that makes me think that he was, like... he looked so human, but his mask, I think, covered his whole head and, like, was closed around the neck. It was hard, like, totally, like, woven around, it looked like, and there were no, like, holes in it, like, for eating or anything. I don't remember any. So, like, in order to exist like that...
He was... in the subtitles, he was referred to as Creature. So I think that might be a clue as to like what he was. Maybe he wasn't human. He looked human. But that, yeah, I liked him a lot. I wanted more of him.
I agree. I would have liked to see that.
But his fight with Thomas with the torture machine, that was pretty good. The way he went out was good. And then
It was very like, I mean, you cringe and like ooh, this cut away.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this is okay. And then the last, probably the most satisfying death. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, sorry, I was just adding to the director's like. Would you say that the trough of like blood and sewage was like typical of the director, or was that like a different kind of gore?
No, actually, yeah, because in the Raid 2, there's a fight scene that takes place in the mud. It's raining, it's in a prison yard. Spoilers if you haven't seen the Raid 2, I guess. This isn't, but like, that's all I'll say. There's a fight scene in the Raid. That's I won't say more than that, but there's a fight scene in a prison.
Okay.
And it's in the mud, and it's very textural. I don't know how else to describe it. But that does kind of fit with his style, where he does things in a slightly unconventional settings, where what can we do to make this, because he's escaping, and he's escaping through that like bloody sludge tunnel. It could have just been a tunnel, but no, it's a bloody sludge tunnel.
Yeah,
it like adds
just,
something to it.
He can attest to that. I was just like, like the whole way through. Oh, it's gross.
That was good. That was a good moment. Like, this movie had like bits and pieces that I liked, and bits and pieces that were the right kind of like cringe, whatever. But it's something that, and this is the Raid is like, to me, a near perfect movie. The Raid 2 is a lot like this movie, where great moments, story a little lacking, characters you don't really care about that much, so you're left, not completely committed to the characters, and and it's like, I want to talk about the one other really satisfying moment.
Okay.
Which is when who's the bad guy? Elliot?
No, it's on our iPad.
Yeah, hold on.
Maybe.
This speaks to how memorable the characters
Right.
were, is that we have to look at the internet to figure out who people were. It was
Cliff? Quinn.
Quinn. When Quinn got killed, that was good.
I honestly don't remember that.
It was when...
Oh, yeah. No, I do.
Yeah, because he gets stabbed, and then the ladies break free, and the ladies grab the chains, and they start to strangle him, and then Thomas, like, digs the knife in, and then the women pull him backwards, and Thomas pulls the knife, like, all the way down through his body, and I was like, yeah! Finally!
I was really happy.
Yeah. I was so happy. Because, like, that's what I came for. And I'm like, oh, this is exactly what... And, like... and, like, I don't like torture porn movies. I don't like Hostel. I don't like slashers. I don't like those types of things. But I do love Sam Raimi. I do love campy. I love like schlocky. I love over the top. Like, and like, to me, there's a way to do violence that is squeamish but fun and not mean. There's like a very, very fine line between like mean-spirited gore and fun gore.
So it's like the person getting tortured like has to be like a bad guy, basically.
That is a big part of
Okay.
it. You have to have justified kills.
Okay.
And if they're not justified kills, then you have to have retribution and revenge for those. So,
Okay. So that explains like the kid, why you didn't mind the kid with the drill.
It's because it sets up that character's...
Right.
Yeah, it's like, this character's doing something incredibly evil, and then his death needs to be at least twice as bad as the character he killed. Like, that's like a very basic thing that good movies, like good revenge movies, I always go back to John Wick as like a perfect example of this, is that like his revenge kills and his violence answers are always so satisfying, because in the way that he's been wronged, you root for him, and he's doing terrible things, but you're like, do it! And it's just, and it can be very satisfying.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Although, well, like you said in our spoiler-free review, it was somehow devoid of style at the same time. Like, I think of John Wick and I think of very stylized violence. And when I think of this movie, no.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's another thing that kind of disappointed me, is that the director, is so good at that in The Raid and The Raid 2.
Just wanted more.
Yeah, and it wasn't quite there.
Yeah.
But tell me what you thought about the goddess.
She was really cool.
Yeah.
This is the best part of the movie, I thought.
Yeah, that was a really interesting, I don't know if I call it a twist, but like halfway through the movie, it starts off, you think it's like, oh, this is a cult movie, and like, oh, it's a crazy cult. But no, it's actually like genuinely supernatural.
Yeah.
Really mystic, crazy things going on, and it just changes the rule set. And it did it in a way that I thought felt natural and not like a, whoa, it just like, it made sense.
Yeah. It did. And you don't know much about her, you don't learn much about her, but she's like clearly this old pagan goddess that they have enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just very interesting. Like, they force feed her blood. And she like clearly, like, she doesn't want it, but once it's in her mouth, she's like gulping it down like it's like, oh, the best thing. And I just thought like that was really interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yep, it was a nice touch, and they explained just enough to show like this is how they got there, this is what they did to get there. They've captured this goddess and they're feeding her blood, and it's helping the crops and all that, and you're like, okay, but they don't over explain it. They don't, even at the ending, they don't really like, they don't over explain it, which is something I appreciated. It's like, it's enough, and they let you kind of like roll with it, and that's fine. What did you think about the ending? Like how it all ended and wrapped up?
Very interesting, very cyclical, very mysterious, but not in a way that felt like I was being cheated or teased.
Okay. I would have preferred it if it was more depressing.
Please elaborate.
I think it was... It's hard to really... I don't have anything in my mind that I would have liked to have seen, but I think there was a chance to go really nihilistic and just like salt the earth.
That would have been cool too.
Yeah, like really, really dark and bad times for everyone. I think could have been an interesting, and it would have been a statement on don't mess with nature, basically.
True.
Where like you...
I think it still was.
Kind of is.
But,
yeah,
it would have been
kind
more
of is. But it's not it. So many people got away.
Yeah.
And like a few people died, but like most of these people, and again, this is something where they were mostly innocent. So really, you know.
That was another thing that surprised me. Like, I signed up for like a movie about a creepy ass cult. And it wasn't that. Like, I mean, they weren't great. but it was more like they were on the verge of like becoming something worse. And like not most people weren't in on what was really going on. Yeah, they just weren't that creepy, and I wanted a creepy cult.
Yeah. And it starts off with all the bloodletting where everybody has to like bleed.
Oh yeah,
jars.
Which is like really weird, but they don't know that they're like, or do they?
I don't know. I don't think any. Maybe a select few understand why they're doing it, but maybe I don't know. Did they tell them? Did they say this is to feed the goddess?
Yeah,
literally.
I bet they thought that they were feeding the goddess, but I bet they did not know that she was being forced.
Yeah, or that it was literally an actual physical creature that was drinking the blood. It might have been more of like blood of the Christ, symbolic thing, except a little more extreme, where they're showing their faith by doing this, or who knows what you think. But everyone here is like all in on this society. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get the sense that they're all like kind of desperate people too, which kind of sets you up more for the belief that they're willing to do desperate, evil things. But most of them seem like cool people, like, you know?
Yeah, there's not a really... That surprised me too, is how likable the cult was. I thought it was... And again, like, it's just nice to see expectations different. So.
True. I want to talk about Malcolm.
Okay. We're going to talk about Malcolm.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about Malcolm?
Okay. I feel like the performance wasn't quite as like dynamic as I wanted to be. It wasn't quite as hypnotic as I wanted to be, but like, okay, Malcolm. So he's the leader of this cult, Prophet Malcolm. So his name is Malcolm, and he's cult leader, which I just said. But when I think of prophet leaders named Malcolm, cult leaders named Malcolm, I instantly think of Children of the Corn. Really bad dude named Malcolm leading this cult of kids. Sorry, spoilers for Children of the Corn. But like, I feel like that name has been used often enough in horror that it sets up a really like negative connotation for that name if you're a horror fan.
Okay.
And for a while, like, you think like, oh, this guy could be a bad dude. Like, you're not sure. He kind of seems like a bad dude. He kind of is a bad dude, but he's more like misguided and like lost.
Yeah.
He's good at heart, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, my expectations for him were flipped.
Yes.
Quite hard.
Yeah.
Just based on his name.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, same here. Not by the name, but just by the expectations of like, this guy's the cult leader.
But yeah.
And he's charismatic, and he looks really nice, and he seems really like pleasant, which usually means he's going to be the most terrible.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He was actually almost a good guy. He did kind of, sort of like,
Yeah.
he opposed going extreme.
But he was on his way, like, really, like, he was, like, ordering people to kill for him.
Yeah, because they did kill the one guy who they thought was Thomas, who they were gonna get the money from.
Well, even, like, after that, in the church, when they were...
Yeah.
And that one...
Yeah.
Opposer got in, they killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a brutal moment. Like, what did you think of that? All the spears went through that guy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I was like, okay, all right, we're getting there, you know. But again, it was so, and this is a Gareth Evans thing where like, he's good. Like, the camera angles he used for that were really good. Like, they cut to an above shot when the guy gets impaled with all these spears, and it just made a really interesting pattern. And this is what I like about him and the violence that he does, is that he does it in a way that's not just something happening. He makes it, him and his cinematographer really like, they make it into something more. And that makes it feel less like just like, I got stuck with spears, and more like a moment. And it looked almost biblical, where he was, impaled and leaning forward with the knife and like still trying to stab Malcolm.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get you.
Oh, you're really bad.
But yeah, like, for a movie that was like 2 hours long, right? Ish.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It could have been shorter. You could have trimmed. You could have trimmed a little out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was
maybe
thinking
not.
about that because I was reading like little bits of reviews here and there where they were saying that 2 hours felt like too long and it could have benefited from like maybe a little editing. But when I try to think back, I can't really think of anything that was extra.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everything served a purpose.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, and it had a lot of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it was very like coldly beautiful to look at, but
Yep.
it didn't draw me in.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you rewatch this? Would you go back to it again ever?
I think I would have to be in a particular mood.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know, maybe. Like if someone else wanted to watch this, or if we had like a group of friends that were like, yeah, let's watch this, maybe, but it's not fun enough. Like,
Yeah.
it's like both Raid movies I would happily pop in and watch again. Even the Raid 2 with all its faults and slow moments, it's still like there's still so much in it that I would happily be like, oh yeah, this part and this part and this part. But this one, it's not like Suspiria where I will happily watch it every Halloween. It's not like, you know, Evil Dead 2 or any of those movies that are like quotable or memorable. It's good, but it's not. Yeah.
We just felt detached.
Yeah.
And I still can't put my finger on why.
Yeah. I think it's just not everything's super memorable. Not every movie is gonna be. And we're in this point now where we've got so much media and so many movies and so much stuff that we're judging things against each other on this like extremely critical scale.
Yeah, our bars are high.
It's like, yeah, when there's so many things to watch, it's hard not to like.
That's 2018, baby.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But not sure what else I have to add about it, really.
Yeah. I feel like I addressed everything that I wanted to address that we didn't already talk about in the spoiler-free review. Which, if you haven't watched, by the way, you should totally check out.
Yeah. I mean, if you made it this far, though, I don't know if there's a reason. If you've already watched this entire spoiler...
Well, don't tell them not to watch our video.
What I meant to say was go watch all the videos multiple times.
Don't forget to comment, like and
subscribe!
That could be a good closer.
And